the G.I. Joe Sky Striker 30th anniversary. You can see here the box with the window for the figure. Turn around and you have this little description about the Sky Striker. Notice it is XP21F instead of XP14F like the original one was. Of course, based on the F-14 Tomcat. And you have a nice picture here of, looks like they got a USS flag and used it for a photograph there. And you have the Ace pilot included as well. On this side, it shows off several different features. On the bottom, it has other upcoming vehicles. I did have the original Sky Striker as a kid, and it was one of my favorite toys, of course. Big G.I. Joe fan. This one is a little bit shorter version than the original. I really wish I had my vintage one to compare it to. I don't. It's all away in storage. There are nice changes that I like about this, but there are some features of the other one that I wish they had retained. First thing to notice would be the sweeping wing gimmick. When in real life the vehicles go into supersonic flight, and remains the same. Just pull it forward, and for some reason mine doesn't seem to lock. But there the wings get pulled in, and the landing gears here they get retracted. Now, on the vintage one, if I recall right, the landing gear is actually housed up here in a little bit more, on model to the F-14. However, they've shortened that to down to here. I think in order to provide more room in the cockpit. I don't know exactly why they did it. Maybe they did it to cut down on having this just be one whole piece. That's something that does kind of annoy me. It's not that big a deal, though. Much bigger things to point out that have gone wrong with this. And that is the most glaring thing, is that these missiles here, if you can see, the holes for them in the actual missiles are quite deep. However, the pegs for them on there are very shallow. So the slightest move, especially with these heavier missiles, the Phoenix missiles, if I remember right, the original things were Phoenix, Sidewinder, and Sparrow missiles. Or maybe I have these two confused. I'm going by memory alone. So knocking these missiles off is quite easy. One thing I do like that they didn't do on the original one is that this cannon piece is actually removable now. But again, I think the way they designed this And if you notice here, the cross-like slot here, and if you notice that there's actually two of those slots here on the sides here on this, so that when this is put together, I never feel, you don't feel like it's fully in all the way. And when you extend the wings, oftentimes you'll knock off the missiles as well. Taking a look at the back here, we're just going to take these off because they're just going to fall off. So taking a look at the back here, you can pull out the turbine engines, just as in the old one. I really like that they kept this black fin for this thing. So whereas the original one was just kind of, I remember it all being basically one type of color. Now they do retain these little engine covers or hatches right there that you can lift up to expose details there. And he does have a nose cannon here. It's moved a little bit forward and up on the plane. I recall it being more along the side here. The cockpit here is pretty cool. I both like it and dislike it at the same time. You see the canopy raises, and you can see the figure sitting in the cockpit there. I do like the little ejection seat pulls that they've included on here, and that really gives a realism to it. I like the heads-up display here, and you can see he's actually got controls in there as opposed to the original Skystriker, which basically had a little panel up in the front, and that's it. What I dislike about it is that it's too short. I wish he could maybe sit this guy a little bit more forward. He should really be sitting more upright also. However, I think because they shortened the cockpit a little bit, or the main fuselage here a little bit, and this gets crammed. The landing gears here are, in my opinion, not as good as the vintage ones were, and you can really tell that's where they cut back on the budget for this. They're just really awful solid plastic, very minimal detail to them. You are able to roll the plane. So one last thing is that they have really great decals included with the plane. And I remember as a kid applying all these little walkway and no step ones, and I gotta tell you, I must have had a lot more patience as a kid, because doing this is like, maybe I got more particular as I got older, but applying these was really not as easy as I thought it was going to be, and certainly required patience that I didn't have. That's it for the plane. We'll come back and take a look at the figure Ace on his own. So this is the Captain Ace pilot, and it comes with the brand new Sky Striker. He's got a base with his name on it. He's got a few accessories as well. He comes with a gun that is holstered, and he can hold it fairly well, fairly tightly. The other accessory that he has is his very bizarre looking flight helmet. I wish they would have just gone with a regular kind of a helmet and face mask, but they kind of went a little bit overboard here. That's just my feeling. It is clear yellow translucent plastic, so you can kind of see his face in there. It does come off. It's on there very tightly, and it has a very nice head sculpt there. A little bit loose there, but I do like the rest of the design of the flight suit. Here you can see he's got a parachute on his front. Nice detailing on the back there. You can tell that this is a suit that's designed to combat high G forces. He does have pretty much the regular G.I. Joe articulation. A little bit. The arms here are a little bit hampered by the equipment here, as well as the sculpt of the arm. So they do go around. He bends and rotates at the elbow and rotates at the wrist. He does have the upper torso articulation here. Legs go forward and not really back, but out to the side. Double knee joints. Rotates at the ankle and bends at the ankle as well. Pretty standard G.I. Joe articulation. And aside from the funky helmet, which is kind of out there, I really like the figure. Now, what's cool about this version of the Sky Striker is that it came with many different stickers. Of course, you saw on the canopy the stickers for Ace had his real name. You can also customize it to other characters that, for instance, Duke would have his own Sky Striker. You can have his name on the cockpit. There's Flint, Snake Eyes, and Shipwreck. They also each came with their own symbol on the available. So you can have here for Aces, for Ace, they have Flint, there's Shipwreck, and Snake Eyes. And I don't know why they left Duke out. There's also different coloring on the wingtips as well, as you saw those gold and black, which is the more modern colors, instead of the classic G.I. Joe look. And so it's a really good set.